Hi kid, welcome to KidTime StoryTime. Dr. Dinosaur, what's wrong? Okay, tell me what's wrong. Just take a deep breath. That's right, breathe with me. Oh, that feels good. Do you feel better now? Oh, yeah, but still. Oh, okay, what is going on, Doug? Well, this book is bringing up my deep-seated fear of failure. What? You're afraid of failure, Doug the Dinosaur? Why on earth would you be afraid of failure? You're a great dinosaur. I know no better dinosaur in the world. You don't? No. I don't like to make mistakes. Well, nobody does. But I'm afraid that people will laugh at me or think that I'm not smart or something bad.
I also do not like to make mistakes at all and not fail, so I simply choose not to fail.
Good idea. But, I mean, everybody makes mistakes sometimes.
No, I do not make mistakes.
No. And when he does,
which I don't,
he just says that he does it, so it's like he didn't make the mistake at all.
It's pretty sneaky, almost like a ninja.
Yeah, you're so brave.
Thanks, and I think you're brave too.
Doug and Green Bear?
Yeah.
Well, would you like to see what it's like to have a world without failures?
Do I ever? That's a big yes for me.
And also for me. Okay, want to sit with me?
That's a big yes.
Okay, let's see what it's like to have a world without failures. Ever heard this word, growth mindset? I never heard of it when I was a kid, but now it's this thing that teachers know about, and it's, well, you know what? Let's just read and find out. Oh, hello. We have Esther and Maima and David. Hey, you guys. David was sad. Hey, David. How you doing? Why are you sad? And when David was sad, his cat Einstein was sad too. Today was one of those days when nothing seemed to be working. Summer was coming and all his friends could swim, but David couldn't stay above water. Then his soccer team lost the match because he missed the game-winning goal, and then to top it all off, he made 2 mistakes on his spelling test. Oof, rough day. I get it, kid. That's rough. If I could make one wish and have it come true, David said to Einstein, my wish would be never to make a mistake again. Sounds like Green Bear. Then everything would be easy and I wouldn't have to fail. Ooh, that sounds like Doug the Dinosaur. David dozed off on his hammock with Einstein snuggled by his side, and he began to dream. Now, what are you wishing for a world without failure? Asked Einstein. And then suddenly David is freaking out and wondering why his cat is suddenly talking. What? But he answered him because that's a polite thing to do. Because that would be great. I would not need to take swimming lessons anymore. I would do it right on the very first try, and I'd be able to solve any puzzle and climb the highest trees without ever falling. Einstein looked at her watch, nodded, and walked away. I feel like Einstein is up to something. I need to go find Dad and tell him that Einstein just spoke to me, thought David. But when he looked for his dad in the kitchen, he noticed something quite strange. Dun, dun, dun! The refrigerator was missing. Now he really needed to find his dad. A refrigerator doesn't just disappear into thin air, or does it? Maybe he's outside. But when David looked out the window, he saw that the supermarket next door was, poof, missing. What is going on? Yelled David. Dad! Well, he headed down the hallway. Maybe Dad was in the bathroom. He always takes a long time in there. And just then, David, I hate it when that happens. David smelled something stinky. Einstein was sitting in the hallway, innocently licking her paw, and right next to her was a big, stinky poop. I don't like to say poop, and now I've said poop 3 times. Why did you do that, Einstein? David didn't expect Einstein to answer, but she did, because Einstein talks now. The door to the bathroom is closed and the litter box is inside the bathroom. But why didn't you just jump on the doorknob and open the door like you always do? I can't do that. It's too hard. Oh, what do you mean? It took you a lot of tries, but now you know exactly how to do it. That's not a good excuse. Don't you remember? Einstein reminded him. Remember what? We now live in a world without mistakes and failures. If I had tried to open the door, I would have failed many times. This is wonderful, David. Everything is so easy. I don't have to try anymore. That was what you were wishing for, right? That cat. Is that the reason why the supermarket is gone? Asked David. Yes, for sure. That's because nobody could build a supermarket without making a few mistakes. That would be impossible. Well, Einstein seemed to know all the answers. But what do you expect when a cat is named after a genius, right? And what about the missing refrigerator? Good question. Inventing something to keep food cold is pretty complicated. It would never work on the first try. In a world without failure, there would be no refrigerator. Oh, that makes sense, right? Because you have to try many times before you get it just right, just cold enough. Prototypes. Have you heard that word? It's the models that you create on the way to making the final model. That makes perfect sense. Now, David thought for a second, but nothing seemed to really fully make sense. Well, Einstein, if that's right, there wouldn't be any TVs either. Don't you think making a TV is pretty complicated? And as soon as he said that, poof, the TV disappeared. Yes, you are right. There would be no TVs in a world without failures, Einstein said, nodding. And David was starting to feel scared. Because it's scary to think of a world without television, right? Then maybe there are no houses either? Asked David. Einstein nodded again, and poof! The house disappeared. Well, what about the streets? Poof! The streets were gone. Look around, said Einstein. This is what a world without human failure looks like. David looked around. Like that. And he saw that his clothes had changed. He looks like a caveman. And now he was really frightened. Roar! Suddenly, a big lion jumped out of a bush and began to chase David. Run! I did not see this coming. Running as fast as he could, David tried to get away. Luckily, just before the lion caught him, his dad swung down from a tree. Oh! And brought him to safety. They waited together in the tree until the lion was gone. That's right. Go back to your pride, Simba. We don't need you here right now. Where were you, Dad? I was looking for you everywhere. I'm so scared. I'm sorry, son. I would love to spend time together, but I have to go out all day and hunt for food. In this world, no one could have built a supermarket or a bakery or pretty much anything. As it began to get dark, they built a fire to stay warm. David wished for a light switch, but in a world without failure, no one could have invented electricity because that took a lot of tries. And it got darker and darker and probably colder too. Soon, it was pitch black. David couldn't remember ever being so scared. In a world without failure, everything is much harder. This world is hard and scary, David thought to himself. He closed his eyes. He didn't want to be in this strange world anymore. Luckily, it was just a dream. He yawned and opened his eyes, and suddenly, ba-boom! We're back on the hammock. It's a beautiful day out. He's wearing his normal clothes. And there's Dad. And Einstein's there too. Oh, son, you look like you were having a very bad dream, so I decided to wake you up. Are you okay? And strangely enough, Einstein was not saying anything. Dad, I know I said I wasn't going swimming anymore, but I will keep trying, even though I may fail. I'm sure that if I keep trying, I will get it right, David thought. Not trying is much worse than failing. Do you hear that? Not trying is worse than failing. And then the book tells us a few extra things. We often think of failure as a bad thing. I mean, I do too. It's normal. You always want to be perfect on the first try. But if you only want to be perfect on the first try, that means you never try. And what did we just learn? What was the big truth bomb that this book just gave us? Not trying is worse than failing because you never even tried. You know, failure is just often the first attempt at learning something new. It helps improve your brain power. It encourages problem solving. Why didn't it work this time? Maybe I'll try it this way. Maybe I'll zig instead of zag. That's the key. Failure helps you become strong and resilient. Resilient means that you just keep at it over and over again and you don't let one thing get you down. Without failure, there is no progress. It's always better to try and fail than to not try at all. And now we know that a world without failures would be a world without refrigerators, without TVs, probably without internet, right? Without
all the important things.
Yeah, like what?
Like air conditioning.
Electricity.
Good one.
Telephones.
Exactly. Do you know how many tries they had to do?
How many?
I actually technically don't know how many, but it was a lot. It wasn't the first time.
No, it probably took at least 2 times.
Probably more.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah. So I should not be afraid of trying something new because I'm afraid.
Exactly.
You know, you made me really think, Storyteller, about how I should approach things now.
Oh yeah, Green Bear?
Yeah. You know, I used to feel a little bit ashamed if I didn't get everything right the first time.
I understand. You are what I like to call a perfectionist.
Yeah, that's a really good word. And it's pretty accurate. But I understand now that sometimes I'm not going to get it right. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to get it right the next time.
Exactly, because you are super smart.
Yeah, and just because I didn't get it right the first time doesn't mean I'm not super smart.
That's exactly true.
And that goes for you too, Dr. Dinosaur. That you're the super smartest, bestest, kindest dinosaur best friend that a green bear could ever have, and I love you.
Oh, Green Bear, thank you so much. And now maybe I won't be so afraid to try new things.
That's right, because you are super smart.
I am super smart.
And nobody can make fun of you because you're my best friend.
Oh, I am the luckiest dinosaur in the world.
And I'm the luckiest storyteller. See you next time, kid, on KidTime StoryTime, where I always want you to try to do the very best every time.